of most of Ghost Whisperer, which is in the kitchen. Here's the, oh, look, the bedroom. You never know on this Ghost Whisperer set where things start to move around, things are found places where they shouldn't be, and look, the bed's been moved. How did that happen?
When delving deeper into David's role on Ghost Whisperer, the conversation took a much more serious turn.
I think the community of people who like Ghost Whisperer are like anybody. It's a community of people who may have lost someone, who miss somebody, who have pain in their life that they experienced through someone who died or, you know, someone who passed on. And however people find a way to cope with that loss or make something good out of it or to, you know, help their families out or help their own future out, to me is great.
And that community was created by executive producer John Gray, along with husband and wife team Ian Sander and Kim Moses.
Kim Moses, myself, and John Gray were partners, and we went with James Van Praagh, who's a world-famous psychic medium, to CBS and pitched the story of doing The Ghost Whisperer.
What is really important to know with Ghost Whisperer is it is not a fantasy show. It's grounded in reality, and we're always asked, are we believers? When we first came into the show, we didn't really know very much about the spirit world. We were novice. You know, it's really hard to deny when you start seeing evidence. Love has given a lot of information to the press about how the Ghost Whisperer sets are haunted. And we've had very unusual occurrences, and there are ghosts that appear in the film. And we just, you know, it's hard to say, no, this didn't happen when it's right there in front of you.
Love tells a story how one time a woman was talking to her about how every Friday night she sits down with her husband, they have a glass of wine and watch the show together and hold hands, only to find out that that husband had passed away years ago.
There's a need right now, I think, for people to feel safe in the world because of all the turmoil and the war and, you know, just lots of things, crime. And so I think people are looking for a way to find hope or some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, and our show may do that in its own small way.
So, Jennifer, have you noticed crazy things happen on the set?
Yeah, we've had I brought some stuff with me, actually, so you guys could see sort of the ghost stuff that goes on our set.
Who's a believer and who isn't, first of all?
Pretty much me is the believer.
No, I'm a believer.
Are you really?
I was raised by ghosts, so, well, I wasn't raised by ghosts, but I went over there like almost every day.
No, okay, let's go to your picture.
All right, well, I'm the Ghost Whisperer, and I believe in it, so here we go.
Okay, what's this picture you just...
This is a picture of my makeup artist, Antonella, on our set, and we took the picture. We took one a few seconds later, and that white film was not there. We showed it to one of our mediums, and she had a ghost attached to her, which now has been removed. Okay, so can I get up and point? Yeah. Okay, here, I'll show you. You can probably see her, but this right here, we were filming a scene where we set this place on fire, and this is an old woman at the bottom of the stairs that showed up on our footage, who was not in our scene at all. It was 4 little boys. It was in our first season, and she just showed up on the footage, and when you're watching the footage, she actually kind of turns her head. There she is again. She sort of turns her head in her nightgown to sort of look and be like, why are they setting my house on fire? So she showed up in our footage, and then I think we have another, is there one more? I think there's one more. This is a guy who we showed the scene last season for like 5 seconds. It was a scene where Jim actually got hurt in an ambulance thing, blah, blah, blah. When we went to do the flashback, like 8 episodes later, this man showed up in the flashback. He was not there on the film initially. You can see his arm and his jacket, and he's wearing a hood and his jeans. And he's actually, when you widen it out, he's hovering next to the ambulance where David and the other people were acting.
Oh my gosh.
And there's the ambulance flipped over, and he was just hovering there watching what was happening.
You don't know about this? The one that freaks me out the most is the woman at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm the girl that doesn't, I'm a big skeptic about like ghosts and things like that.
Do we have, there's video too. Do you want me to show you
you have
one
video?
more? This one's really cool, I think. This is our most recent one. And as I'm talking, where is it? Oh, you kind of can't see. Well, as I'm talking right here, if you look closely, there's a thing, and the face sort of turns and looks at me for a second and then turns away.
Oh, yeah.
And in this scene, this was right before Christmas, and in this scene I'm actually crossing somebody over, and it doesn't show up behind anybody else in the scene, and it was only on the reset of this section of the scene we like picked up this section, and it was behind me the whole time. So it's kind of neat.
Oh, God.
I'm not going back to work.
Be sure to watch Ghost Whisperer tonight and every Friday night at 8 on CBS. And the whole audience is getting Ghost Whisperer t-shirts as well as the first season of the show on DVD.